Okay, let's do this. Let's move on to another airline story. JetBlue, Cornelia?
Oh, yeah. So JetBlue now, they for a while they were safe, not in the news, but this time a family got booted off the plane for a birthday cake. So there was a family flying from New York to Las Vegas May 3rd, and they brought a cake on. You can travel with cakes. You can go through TSA with cakes. You can travel with a birthday cake. They first put it in the overhead compartment and then was asked to move the cake under the seat. So once they did that, there was a separate flight attendant who had an issue with the birthday cake and where it was going, and it escalated into an incident. Now, Port Authority police were called onto the plane. You can hear in the video, they were saying, no, you're not in trouble. Everything is okay. We don't see any problem here with the cake. Once the video cuts off, between that point, the family then was asked to deplane the situation because they said it was escalated into an aggressive manner, and then
but we don't see that.
We don't see that. And then again, they were asked to get off. They did get their other flight taken care of. So JetBlue did cover the flight, but they had to get off the plane because of the birthday cake situation. So now JetBlue is in the thick of it. We thought they were safe, but they're not.
Very debatable because one flight attendant, you're good. The other flight attendant, So that's the world we live in, a gray world, and when things go your way, you're fine with it. When they go against you, then all of a sudden we got a situation.
Yeah, and I think and the guy the father in the family, he was saying he wants the flight attendant to be fired because of the way that she handled it, because there were different scenarios and different ways to handle the situation. One flight attendant handled it okay from his eyes, and the other did not. He talked about lack of training, which we kind of all went back and forth here on Extra Shot a couple of times about. And again, when we have a customer service industry or company, if everybody isn't on the same page, there's always going to be something that can fall through the cracks. In this case, we see it right now with this birthday cake.
And it comes down to a matter of opinions, right? Like who was right, who was wrong.
Well, and we missed that whole middle chunk. So I mean, we can talk about the story all day, but I didn't see the aggression part of it, and so we don't really know, at least in that video, what happened.
Yeah, and again, opinion of what constitutes as aggressive. Someone raising your voice, that's aggression in one family, but the other family, that's just how I talk to my family members when I have an opinion. So
my family's very loud. So
and we cut each other off, and I'm not trying to be rude. It's
Let me ask you guys this, though. With all these stories, just as a whole, with all of them coming out, this one included, do you find now that when you're on a plane, you're almost going to be looking for a reason to pull your phone out? It's almost like we are more aware of the fact that these are becoming a thing, these videos of these disgruntled passengers or things not being treated correctly, people not being treated right. So do you think when the next time you're on a flight, you'll be a little more apt to be like, I'm going to wait for it, but
personally,
I'm
not.
in my hand?
Personally, I'm not about that life. Personally, it's just like everyone cooperate. Everyone do your thing. You know the rules. Go potty before. If you have an emergency, let's see what happens, and hopefully you get that one flight attendant who goes, okay, just hurry and go. But I understand, given the situation, if they can't say yes, because Joe Schmo and Billy Bob and Susie also have to go. You can't do it for everyone. I'm not so much.
I don't think you're alone. I think most people, especially in public, they're always trying to avoid confrontation. I mean, let's face it. When you're in a big public place, there's very few public freakouts, and when they are, they're on video and it becomes viral because it happens so seldom. So I think most people aren't really looking for that. But then if they feel like I've got a point and you're doing wrong to me and my family in front of my kids,
stand up for yourself.
Your only real counterpoint is to shoot video of it to try and say they're being rude to me. You need to. I want everyone else to see this as well. So I think people wait to the last minute until they pull out the phone. That's just what I think.
And you have to keep in mind too. People, again, I've said this before. People have been feeling this way about airlines and flying for a long time. So I think now that people are seeing things being movement happening because of bringing out your camera phone and actually taking it to social media yourself, I think people are they're getting more gratification from the results and not necessarily the confrontation. Because it's like street justice or being
you have to create the friction,
or not create the friction, but it's saying you've been doing this for years, but now that I show that you've been doing this for years, something's going to happen because of it.
Yeah.
I get that. That's the only way. I mean, you want change to happen. The greatest of changes in our country have happened because of some confrontation, because of some disagreement, and then you duke it out, not literally, sometimes literally. But I don't know. Are you? Are you apt to pull the phone out?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm the kind of person too where when I'm getting on a plane, it's usually because I want to get from point A to point B, and I don't have time for that. So when they tell me to put my phone away, I usually just put my phone away. But I'll be curious the next time I see a flight attendant hovering around somebody having a heated conversation, the people around me. Is everyone going to start going, oh, you see what's going on over there? Someone get their phone out.
You know, helicopter passenger?
Yeah, helicopter passenger. and I know Alicia Mayo says power and controlled obsessed people, which is kind of to your point, Cornelia, saying are people abusing control when they are in the position of flight attendants? You know, we're not always on the same page, but either way, keep weighing in. This topic is just yet another one on the airline checklist.
And Rob loves these topics. When it comes to I mean, so interesting.
Okay, stand-up comedy. What's just a good go-to? Tell a joke about an airline story, and that's usually going to resonate with the audience.
Right. Yeah. Everyone's been there, done
We've been there. We've had good and a lot and bad too.
After a while, it could get to the point where if you're on stage talking about gas prices, people start just basically turning their backs. After a while, people don't want to hear it. So we'll see. But it's interesting again. The people have taken back their power, and now you're going to see these all the time.
You are.
Right.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Okay.